Is God only found in the gaps? After the last video I did 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of people on here saying that, well, you're just making the God in the gaps argument, which is just a dismissive argument on their part. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's basically saying, well, God is only found in the gaps of our scientific knowledge. And what I was saying was, well, if we can't understand it, therefore it has to be God. But that's not my point at all. In fact, my point is that God is found in every aspect of creation. And while science is only limited to our basic understanding of the physical universe, God is not. God is spirit. There will never be any direct scientific evidence for God. There just won't be. It's not how God is found. That's never how God has been found. He is transcendent from the physical. Like anything that would create the material universe would have to be outside of it. He's transcendent from the borders of time. He's eternal. Like anything that would create the borders of time would have to be outside of that time. And although the more we understand, the more we realize we don't know. The bigger the gaps become and the greater the mystery of the universe becomes. Is God found there? Absolutely. But God is found in every part of the universe and not just the gaps of our understanding of it. And the more we know, the more we see the design of it. And some of you were just not comfortable with the word design and push back on it. But in all honesty, that's intellectually dishonest. Like just because scientists refuse to use the word because they understand the implications of it doesn't mean that they don't see it. Like that's the Bible argument. And my argument is this: just look at the universe and think about what we know about it. Psalm 19 verse 1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God." And here's what we know about it. Think about how big the sun is. You would have to circle the earth 109 times to get to the circumference of the sun. It would take 333,000 earths to get to the weight of the sun. You could fit 1,300,000 earths inside of the sun to get to the volume. Like one single solar flare could provide enough electricity for 100 billion years on Earth. Think about the vastness of our space. How many stars are there? There's said to be 100 billion stars in our galaxy alone. And there's said to be over 200 billion trillion stars in the whole universe. And honestly, that's just innumerable. And how many galaxies are there? 100 billion galaxies. How big is a light year? 5.8 trillion miles. That's the distance that it takes light to travel in 1 year. The distance across the Milky Way is 100,000 light years. The distance between neighboring galaxies is 10 million light years. Just think about the precision of the earth. In Genesis chapter 1, in 6 days, God made the earth perfectly habitable for us to live. And think about all that we know about that. Think about the fact that the earth is in the perfect distance from the sun. Any closer, we would burn up. Any further, we'd freeze to death. Think about the fact that gravity is the perfect strength. Any stronger, we'd be crushed into a ball. Any weaker, we'd fly apart into pieces. And just think about what you know about the water cycles. Water evaporates, it creates clouds, and it rains down on the earth, which is necessary for every living thing that is on the earth, including us and the things that we eat. Without it, all life would die. And yet there are those who would argue that there's no design in any of that. Look at our bodies. In Romans chapter 1, verse 19, Paul said that what may be known of God is manifest in them, talking about in our bodies, for God has shown it to them. Psalm 139, verse 14, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Think about what happens in your body when you get an infection. You have these white blood cells in your body. These cells are designed to locate the infection and move to the site that's under attack to destroy the invading pathogens. Like our bodies are designed to protect ourselves from illness. Think about the informational code in our DNA. DNA contains nucleotides that are arranged in a specific order. And that order is not just random, but it's communicative. Like it's informational. All the micro machines of your cells, all the amino acids, and all the stuff that happens in you biologically, it's all dictated and driven by the information within your DNA. And if that's information, which it is, where did it come from? And there is something that we do know about science. Information does not come from non-information. Information only comes from intelligence, period. There's not one instance or example where even simplistic information will do that. There's not even one study where scientific exploration would assume that it could. And it's not even simple information. I don't have the time nor really the knowledge to talk about the complexities of this information. Just do some research yourself. And that's the kind of gaps that they claim that I'm trying to fit God in. See, the evidence for God is there, but people just dismiss it. And that's to say nothing about the information and the historical credibility that's in the Bible or the evidence of the resurrection that we spoke about in the first video. Like, I hope that helps. I hope that challenges your stance a little or strengthens your faith. So if you disagree with me, please make sure to comment down below. Let's talk about it. But no matter what, I hope everybody has a great day. God bless.